this another go. Okay.
There we
You hear
go.
me now? Testing 1, 2. We're good?
Yes.
All right. Now we're set. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Gonz Sports Talk pregame show. This one is a little more special. We are on prime time. Thursday night football against the Bengals. Divisional matchup against one of the most highly contested divisions in the NFL as we speak. Gonz, how you feeling on this Wednesday night, man?
I'm feeling pretty, I don't know. I'm so busy at work right now that it's just like the week is rolled by and it's like it's whatever. But as soon as tomorrow night hits and I get my stuff together and make my way down to M&T Bank Stadium, I'll be excited. But tomorrow's going to be a long day, so I'm not insanely excited at the moment because I know what I got to do tomorrow. But I'm sure the Ravens will be excited, and I'll be excited once I step foot in the stadium. That'll be great.
Yes, for those of you who don't know, Gonz will be at the stadium for prime time. Unfortunately, I will not. I will be covering the game for my job, but that's neither here nor there. But before we dive into our success for the Ravens for this game, Gonz, neither team is 100% coming into this
Yeah.
game. We both know that for a fact. Why don't you give us a deep dive into those injury reports?
Now, how about I start us out with some breaking news today from about 4 p.m. when we heard that Deshaun Watson, the Cleveland Browns starting quarterback, is going to miss the rest of the season with season-ending shoulder surgery to repair a broken bone in his throwing shoulder that he re-aggravated in the Ravens game, I believe, with a hit in the second quarter. That's unbelievable. I mean, the Steelers just keep catching breaks after break after break. So it looks like the DTR is going to be the starter. Him or PJ Walker. Most likely
be
PJ
DTR.
Walker.
DTR
But
starting.
wait, it's official? Well,
It's official.
it's an auto
DTR
win.
will be starting in that game.
It's an auto win for Pittsburgh. I mean, it's unbelievable how lucky that team is. Ever since 2020, when they went 11-0 and choked everything, they've been the luckiest team in the NFL, in my opinion. Just when it comes to self-implosion by the opponents and just fluky stuff like the COVID stuff too. When people if y'all remember back when they had the COVID-19 list, people were being thrown on that hours before the game. The Steelers wouldn't play any starters, and people would be thrown on the COVID list right before the game. The Steelers had to play Baltimore when we had half our roster on the COVID list and had to start RG3 in Pittsburgh. But the point is, they're just so lucky. And here they are catching yet another break. Unfortunate news for the Browns. I mean, I did not see that coming. He looked fine at the end of the game to me. If anything, I would have thought his ankle was hurting because he was limping around on that all game. But the Ravens, yes, they did come away with the dub in Baltimore. The Browns did, but they sure paid a hefty price. Because we did one thing, at least in the first half, we beat up Watson. We really beat him up, like, boom, a lot. And it was like crazy. I had made a phone call at halftime. I said, we are pummeling Watson. He is getting pummeled. And it looked like he was definitely in pain with that angle, but I didn't know he re-aggravated the shoulder injury. Or maybe it's a different injury. I don't know. But that's insanely crazy to me. I was so shocked to see that this morning. It might have been in the morning. Actually, it was in the morning. It wasn't around 4
It was early this morning because I woke
it was
up
early
to the
this
news.
morning. My apologies.
I saw it on Twitter. Yeah.
But anyway, so that's how you know what kind of vibes these AFC North matchups are. Just full-on physicality. I'm glad we don't have to play the Browns anymore because that was another next level of physicality. This game tomorrow will be the last one until Pittsburgh, which is Week 18. So we get a little bit of break from AFC North ball. So it's important that we get the dub tomorrow to go 3-2. But anyway, speaking of injuries, let's go ahead and jump to this game. after we talked about that Cleveland stuff. That was mind-boggling today. I mean, was not expecting that. I was teaching class at the time when I saw it, so I was like, wow. So anyway, couple of, game statuses for some of these guys. Unsurprisingly, I believe it was Ronnie Stanley out for the game. Not shocked. Marlon Humphrey, doubtful, but he ain't going to play. I wasn't expecting him to come back. He might not come back till after the bye, and that would be safer. Better be safer than sorry. I don't think they need to rush him back because we really need him for the end of the year because we only have about 5 more games when we come back from the bye. So that's pretty insane. We got the Bengals game, then we got to play the Chargers, and then we have a bye. Then we only have 5 matchups left. So not a lot of games to go, and we really need him for that crucial December stretch. So I don't care that they're resting him. That's fine with me. Other people in the injury report, Morgan Moses is still there with that shoulder, but he practiced fully. Game status, not even given a game status. So he is going to be out there 100%. So that is great to see. John Simpson appeared on the injury report on Tuesday, and that was a little concerning because that's a starting left guard, if you don't know, with the illness and shoulder injury designation. But he practiced fully today, listed as questionable. He should be out there. So that's good. Trenton Simpson got a concussion in that Browns game on a special teams play, most likely out for the game. He's a special teams contributor, backup middle linebacker. And then Kyle Van Noy was put on the injury report this week with a groin injury. This is good news. I didn't know about this. After being limited Monday and not practicing Tuesday, he was a full participant on Wednesday. So he should be out there in the rotation. Key word, I said rotation. Rotate him in. You don't have to play him all the time. Put in Owe, put in some other guys, Robinson on one side, Clowney. You've got guys out there. And I don't even see Jadeveon Clowney on the injury report anymore. After I think he got a rest day, maybe. And same for Odell Beckham on Tuesday. So they're going to be fine. They're good to go. So that's great. And then Darryl Worley is listed with a hamstring, questionable. So the injury report is a little bit more lengthy than last week, but not surprising, not shocking. All these designations are not shocking. So, yeah, that's fine with me. Looking at the Bengals, Zach Taylor listed 3 guys out today. T. Higgins, wide receiver 2, huge void. Sam Hubbard, their starting left end, out for the game. And Andre Isavas, one of these emerging wide receivers that has been starting to get a little bit more involved in the offense. I believe he has about 2 touchdowns on the year, maybe 3 receiving touchdowns. And those 3 guys are out. 3 starters. Well, Isavas is not a starter, but Hubbard and Higgins is. Those are big pieces. And also, right after the Texans game, Trey Hendrickson suffered a hyperextension in his knee and had to be helped off the field. Did not practice Monday, looking very bleak for him. But all of a sudden, he popped back on the field, limited Tuesday, fully practicing Wednesday. He doesn't have a game status designation, so he's going to be out there. That's a crazy turnaround with a knee hyperextension. Remember when happened to Travis Kelce? He missed the Week 1 game with the Lions, and it cost him. So we'll see how effective Trey Hendrickson is, though, because I have a feeling he's still going to be a little sore in that knee area. So hopefully Pat McCarry can do a nice job on him. He did a nice job on him the first time in Week 2 when we had no Ronnie Stanley. So let's do it again. We're at the bank. Hold him out. He's a little bit battered and bruised, so that should be, we can use that to our advantage. So hopefully we do it. Awuzie, starting cornerback, fully practiced. He had a knee injury. He's good to go. Who else? DJ Reader has a knee injury, but he fully practiced Tuesday, Wednesday. Should be good to go. Same for Cam Taylor-Britt, dealing with a finger, fully good to go. None of these guys are game status, so they're all going to be out there. But the thing to watch out for some of these, they might be a little bit battered and bruised. So they might be a little sore out there. Even though they're going to play the game, they might be feeling some of the effects from some of these injuries. So we'll see how that goes. But both the Ravens and the Bengals with some decently long injury reports. And both teams missing some starters. Marlon Humphrey in the secondary and Ronnie Stanley in the line of scrimmage. along with the Bengals wide receiver T. Higgins and Sam Hubbard on the line of scrimmage. So should be an interesting matchup. We'll see. I know I just talked for 10 minutes straight, but anyway, go ahead, take it away, Dom. Any thoughts?
It's gonna be an interesting one. Sucks that it's good to see that Marlowe is getting the rest that he should be getting, because we want to make sure that he is healthy going into the end of the season. Like you said, the season is waning. The season is going by quicker than we anticipated. Like, it's already it's pretty much it's week 11, and we're about to have a bye after we face the Chargers, and then we got the 5 games left. Those weeks are probably gonna swoop on by. So it's good to know that Marlowe's getting that rest, because we're gonna need him. Stanley's been worrying me. Like, it's just a consistency with Stanley. It's like when he's out there, he's good. He's one of the best out there. But at the same time, it's like,
this year I would argue that this year he's been solid.
Yeah, true. This year he's been okay. But like, man, it's just been hard to really see him for a full season, and it's getting a little bit questionable about him. But he's still our All-Pro left tackle, so we'll take that how we take it. So I'm glad
but he
that
needs
we're
to
not
get back
the
to
only
the
ones.
All-Pro level.
He does.
Because he's
He
kind
does
of
need to
been
get back.
missing
He
it
needs
a little
to work
bit.
on that, because he's been slacking a little bit. And it is nice to see that the Bengals are also not going to this game a little bit at 100%, because it seems as though we always run into them when we're like lacking. So they're missing T. Higgins, who absolutely was tearing us up in that second half in the first game. He had like over 100 for like 2 touchdowns, which pretty much brought them back into the game. So with that being said, I'm hoping that we can revolve a game plan around Chase and Boyd and limiting Mixon. But yeah, it is good to see that let these guys rest up, let them heal up, and let them get ready for the later stretch in the season, because we're going to need them. This stretch to end the season is not going to be fun. All right, so let's get into what we need to do to get ready for this game. Couple of things on my end that I really felt like I didn't need to say, but I'm going to say it anyway, because I don't know if we fully get it. Give Keaton Mitchell the football. And I'm going straight to offense, whatever. Give Keaton Mitchell the freaking football, man.
We can start with offense.
The guy has proved two games in a row that he is a dynamic playmaker who can get you a touchdown if you need it. He scored on his first run of the game in that Browns game. On his first run. Keaton Mitchell needs to see more carries. I understand what Harbaugh is saying with the whole, we don't want to put a workload on the rookie. You know what I mean? Listen, man, if he wants the carries, give him the carries, man. And he doesn't have to get all the carries. We have 2 other backs who we can rotate out as need be. And this is not saying we need to limit Gus and Justice, because they are also key to this rushing offense. But I'm saying, bro, if Keaton's hot, give him the ball. Why not? In the pass game, in the run game, utilize him because we're going to need it. We're going to need him to get going. We're going to need him to get consistent with Lamar. We're going to need that chemistry to continue to build as the season goes on, because once the playoffs hit, we're going to need him even more. So let's get Keaton Mitchell the ball. Secondly, I feel like we say this every week. I feel like I'm a broken record every time I say this. Hold on to the football. We should not stress enough how much we need to hold on to the football against these guys in particular. Why do I say that? Let's go back to the wild card game last year. What the hell happened? Freaking Tyler Huntley tries to dive across the goal line, and guess who brought that fumble back, by the way? Hubbard. So,
but he's not there.
He won't be there to freaking do that stuff again. But no, I'm still playing, Hubbard. Get well, get better. But let's please hold on to the football. We are I've never seen us fumble this much in a season. It's not looking hot. So
did we fumble in the Browns game? I
don't remember if we did, but I'm stressing it to make sure that we know to hold on to the football, please. The interceptions. I know that second interception that led to the pick six was a really freak. It was a freak situation, to say the most. I mean, ball smacked up in the air, perfect positioning for, I think it was, I don't know, it was Emerson Jr. who got that pick. Perfect
Greg
positioning for Emerson Jr. Greg Newsome, thank you. Perfect positioning for Greg Newsome to go up there, grab it, and run back for a pick six. Greg Newsome is speedy. I mean, fair enough. But Lamar, we have to work also on that deep ball consistency. I know he commented on that this week, saying he feels terrible because he's not been hitting his guys in stride a lot of the time on those deep balls consistently. He said he hits them in practice. I mean, I believe him because we've seen the practice footage, but we need to see that in game. It has to translate to in game because we're missing touchdowns. Like that Zay throw, it could have been a touchdown. He was gone. He beat his guy. He had the space. He's gone. I mean, with the Bateman underthrow, like you didn't give Bateman a chance to go up and get that. Like you can't even blame
if Bateman would have stopped right there, he could have maybe got flagged for pass interference, but it's all right.
That too. But like Bateman barely had a chance to fight for that.
Yeah. It was a bad throw.
There's only so much he can do. You know what I mean? Like he's expecting the ball downfield. Like he had to wait. Oh shoot, it's on the throne. Like we have to, like, the consistency with the deep ball has to get there. His medium range throwing has been on the money. Like I can attest to that. His short to medium range throwing has been on the money for the most part. The deep ball is where we have to find the consistency because we have the guys who can catch the deep ball, but if it's not getting there, there's no point. Like Nelly has shown he can catch it.
Zay Flowers, it would have been 24-6 in the second quarter.
Right, exactly.
Game could have gone differently.
That would have been huge. We lost by 1 point. That touchdown could have changed a lot. But like,
hello, Astro, by the way.
Sorry, Astro. So we lost by 2. So at that point, let's make sure we're hitting the deep ball consistently. I mean, we have Nelly, we have Zay. Andrews can probably go up and get it if he needs to. Let's try to get better with the deep ball accuracy. So those are pretty much offensively. Protection-wise, I feel like it'll be okay. I felt like the protection was really good in that first game against them. So let's try to continue that effort, offensive line. And I think we should be fine. I mean, that's my main thing is hold on to the football. Give Keaton Mitchell the ball. And let's try to make sure we're better with the deep ball accuracy. That's pretty much my main points.
That's fine. And mine is pretty similar, but I'll say a couple different things. Get the ground game going, and I don't care who you're running. Yes, you want to get Keaton Mitchell involved. Definitely, that's a pointer. But get it going. I felt like we weren't steady on the ground in that last game. We really weren't in a huge rhythm, it felt like. We were in a bit of a rhythm at the beginning on that first drive, but we never really got going. I know we had about 100 yards rushing total, but a lot of those came on Keaton Mitchell's 40-yarder and a couple Lamar scrambles. But we really couldn't churn out the yards. We couldn't wear down the defense like we did the first time when we played the Browns. And obviously the Bengals is not the Browns on defense. But this is a crucial game to get them tired. If you want to get them tired and gassed, run it and get them, churn it. Get those yards going. Get Gus going. Gus didn't have too many yards last year. Last week. I know he had a touchdown, but that's about it. He only rushed for about 2.8 yards per carry. It was very, very low. And I know the Bengals' rush defense is not as good. So it's key that we get that going. And then that should open up the passing game for us to hit on some nice play-action passes. So that's what I'm looking for. Let the ground game open up the passing game. And then, take care of the football, whether it's fumbles or interceptions. Last week they didn't fumble, but they threw a bunch of interceptions. And that was not very good. And I am looking at the Bengals' defensive records. They're 30th in the league with 384 yards per game given up on defense. 30th in the league for rush defense, too. 136 yards on the ground given up and pass 25th. So those are all bottom-tier rankings. So we really do need to capitalize on that. Meanwhile, while the Ravens' defensive efficiency is second with only giving up 273 yards per game. Rush is now 11th because we gave up a bunch. 11th in the league. Wow, giving up 100 yards a game. And their pass is 4th with 173.
Oh, yeah.
And
We gave up like 107 to Ford in that game, in the Browns game.
And scoring, they're first, giving up 15.7 points per game. It went up by 2 after that 33 points given up to the Browns. So the Ravens defense, still good within the statistics, but according to the Bengals, they are bottom league, bottom tier, 25th or worse in all their categories. So this is a chance for this offense to get back on track. Be in rhythm, protect the quarterback, don't fumble the ball, get the ground game going, and then that should open up the deep shots. I think they'll have a chance to go deep on some of these Bengals secondaries or Bengals secondary. I don't know how good their safeties have been playing. Nick Scott back there and the other guy, Justice Hill's brother, Daxton Hill back there at safety. I don't know how well they're doing, but according to the stats, it's not looking that great. And C.J. Stroud absolutely gashed them last week. So that was pretty good. And the Bills were moving on them, but untimely turnovers and bad decisions by Josh Allen.
Josh Allen being Josh Allen.
Yeah. So this defense can be beaten. We just got to do it. And I know our offense can, but you just got to do a couple of those things, and you'll be all right. Just play your game, and you should be fine. That's nothing about the Bengals defense scares me. The challenge, I think, is going to be stopping that Bengals offense. That's going to be the real challenge. How is this defense going to rebound after last week? I mean, same could be said for the offense. That offense going to rebound after last week, after going to the fourth quarter. Yeah, say again.
Can I say one thing to that? And I was actually going to bring that point up too. This will have to be a bounce back performance for the defense, especially after that second half. You give up 14 to Watson when he had a freaking bad shoulder, and he was running all over us in the scramble game. He was running all over us. He was dotting us up. It was not on a bad shoulder. And shout out to Watson for even sticking it out for that game. But in my thing for this defense, one thing for sure, one thing for certain, two things for sure. You have got to make sure that when you get back there to Burrow, you bring him down. We have had so much struggle. And you've seen Burrow kind of get back into his old self over these past couple of weeks. But for us specifically, we have seen Burrow dance all over. Like I say it all the time, he tap dances all over us. And he hasn't changed. As he gets back into his rhythm, he's still tap dancing all over defenses. But for us specifically, we have had bad history of trying to get this man down to the ground. Pressure has to be a factor. All those sacks that we have in these past games, they need to formulate into this game. We have to bring Burrow down. The pressure has got to get there. Without Marlowe, we don't have a number one corner. So we're going to have to help our secondary out as much. We're going to have, again, complementary defense. Like that, we're going to have to help each other out here because we got somebody else different on Chase. Boyd might be an issue. Going to try to get him open, of course, with Higgins being out. So he'll be the number 2 option. You have to make sure that Burrow is as uncomfortable as he can be in Baltimore tomorrow night. That is the main thing, is making Burrow uncomfortable.
Yeah, I agree. And if we flash back to the Week 2 matchup, the Ravens played pretty sticky coverage all day.
They did.
Until about the third quarter. That's when the Bengals started to get it going. But Geno Stone saved us with that interception in the end zone, or else they were probably scoring with that drive. Thankfully, the Ravens' offense was in sync for the most part that game and was able to put up touchdowns when called upon. Because right after that, the Bengals went down and scored, made it a 3-point game. Offense got the ball and scored again. So it's important that the offense answers to the Bengals' offense, because the Bengals might score a touchdown or two to keep it close, keep them in it, and we got to make sure we answer that on offense. The crucial drives in the second half, we've got to score on those. If they score, we got to score. If they get it close, and that means we got to churn yardage out, run the clock down, and get a touchdown at the end to seal it. We need to be able to do that. That's my only complaint about the offense last week. was just not able to do anything on that final possession in the fourth quarter after going up 31-30 or yeah, it was a 30 yeah, 31-30 when it stalled out around the 40-yard line they had to punt. So that's another thing I want to say. It's situational offense in the clutch. We need to come up big in big moments. Sealing the game, or a comeback drive if we need it. Just our clutch fourth quarter offense. We need to be able to perform when it matters in crunch time. Same could be said for the defense too. If we go up by 14, the defense has to put this game away. And you do that by making them predictable. Don't let Mixon get going. Just blow him up in the backfield. Make sure they're one-dimensional. Then we can really get after Burrow. And honestly, the pass rush didn't really get to Burrow that much last time we played. I mean, so this is going to be different. If they play like that again against this Burrow, they are in for a long game because Burrow could move this time. Last time he couldn't move. So it was not that bad if we couldn't get to him. Now it's going to be costly if we can't get to him. So I'm hoping that these pass rushers can, turn loose a little bit on Burrow, get him a few times, as opposed to last week or in our first matchup when it was a real struggle to get to him. We didn't get a sack on him until the fourth quarter. So we need to get some pressure on him all game long. And I think we'll do a better job of that this time because the pass rush is kind of getting itself going. That was week 2 when we weren't getting as many sacks as we'd like. And now those guys are starting to get going, as you can see. Even though we did sack Deshaun Watson 4 times, it wasn't as clean as it was in the Lions game and the Seahawks game. So we want to get back to that. We want to channel those kind of pass rush instances where we had Kyle Van Noy chipping in, Jadeveon Clowney chipping in, Justin Madubuike chipping in. You want pressure from all angles, and that's what we want to see. And hopefully we can do that. And that all starts by getting Mixon. You're making Mixon a non-factor. So that's what we got to do. That's the biggest thing. Don't let them run on us. We can't give up 110 yards again.
Better tackling. We need better tackling from our linebacking core because last week against the Browns, it was not good in that second half. We need consistent good tackling from Queen and Roquan. Queen gave some up. Roquan, he had some slip-ups in there. Looking back at the tape, he had one where he almost could have had a tackle for loss, but he tripped up on somebody. Better secure tackling. Make sure we get these guys down. Don't let them push us over because we got pushed around for first.
Oh, we lost your audio, Dom.
Testing.
There you go. Now you're back.
So better secure tackling, pressure on Burrow. Mm-hmm. I think those are 2 of the bigger key factors here because tackling in that second half against the Browns, not good.
I also think
not good at all.
It'll be a little bit different without Watson being back there or Burrow back there as opposed to Watson because Watson was just taking off and scrambling a ton. I don't think you're going to see Burrow take off 15 times and just run right up the gut like Watson does. And if he does that, we need to clamp down and get him before he breaks loose for 10 yards every time. That was so frustrating to watch last week when he was just taking off. He looked like the old Lamar Jackson from 2018, not even looking down the field, just running. And we need to be able to stop that and not let him get going. I don't think Burrow will do that much, but he definitely can tuck it down and run a few times. And we need to trip him up if he gets going. But I think that'll work out with the Ravens' favor as you're not going to see Burrow running that much. So we'll see. But the threat of it is still there. So we got to be awake for it and,
very true.
Alert.
Very true.
So we'll see how it is. Tackling, they're going to dump the ball out real quick. They love to do little screens or little, bubble screens or slants. Quick, get the ball out quick sometimes if they see a blitz. So you got to wrap them up, like you said. Don't let them break tackles. Don't let them get yards. Who's their tight ends? I believe it's Irv Smith Jr. and Drew Sample, the top 2. So we don't want to let them get going. Kyle Hamilton, cover them up. They have had issues with drops and, production over the year. I know they were pretty productive in the Bills game, but they haven't been too much. They haven't shown us too much recently. Don't give them a reason to be talked about. Keep them invisible, and, do your best on them. Get them out of the game so we can focus on Chase and Tyler Boyd in the slot. So it'll be interesting to see how we do Chase. Is Mike McDonald going to change it up, or he's going to mimic what he did last time with 2 guys on Chase? or, maybe one with pressure. I don't know. We'll see how it is. I'll be able to tell you a lot after the game since I'll be there. But honestly, this in summary, after everything we've talked about, this is a game the Ravens definitely can win and should win if they play their game. I mean, they kept it close with the Browns. Yeah, they choked it in the end. But at the end of the day, they're 7-3. If they can put together a full game and make the plays that they don't even need to play a phenomenal game. If they can make the plays that they need to make in the fourth quarter, then they should be fine. Okay, especially on the offensive side of the ball. With how the rankings are for the Bengals defense, the Ravens could have a nice bounce back performance on offense, and I expect that to happen. Even though it's a short week on a Thursday, I expect them to do better. Lamar's should have a cleaner game. Maybe a couple touchdown passes or runs. I don't even care. You don't even need throwing. You could give them to Gus the whole time for all I care. As long as you score touchdowns, that's fine. Just cash in the red zone, turnover-free football, and get the run game going, which will open up everything else, and you'll be fine. But this whole matchup, it's a game we should win. We should win.
It's a game that we should win, and it's a game that we need to win.
We need to win, but at the same time,
to win.
Well, yes, but technicality, from a technical standpoint, the Bengals need it more than us because they're sitting at 5-4.
You're not wrong,
and they're going to be giving it everything they are. Because mathematically, we'd still be okay even if we lose. We'd still be 7-4, 3 games above average. But if the Bengals lose, they're dropped to 5-5, and that is tough. They've got matchups with the Bills coming up, the Chiefs. Then they've got 2 or 3 more games in the division, 2 games with the Browns and the Steelers. So we'll see. They got 2 matches with Pittsburgh and 1 more matchup with the Browns. That's it. That was it, not Browns. So they've got a lot of games left. So this is a huge one. They can't afford to start 0-3 in the division, which is what they will do if they lose tomorrow. So the Ravens need to be ready for that freight train of Cincinnati Bengals coming into town because they need a win. They really need a win. So we need to fight off that, that little hope we have, crush their hope, and stampede them, bury them in the backyard, and leave them for dead. That's what we need to do. Stop their hopes. Put them at 5-5, and then they'll be really feeling pretty bad going into a long 10-day break sitting at 500 and blasting the division. So this is a huge opportunity for us to really gain some space against them. So I hope we come through. I hope we do.
We need the win. I do not want to see us at 7-4. I want to see us at 8-3. We're at 8-3. Whoever wins Browns Steelers will be at 7-3. That'll still keep us a 1-game lead in the division. We need to maintain that. Our division is too talented. Our division is too tough. The division is too rough to let these kind of games slip. We have to take advantage of this. We need the win. I know it's not really playoffs. It's not win or go home. The rest of these games for the rest of the year need to be treated as win or go home because the seeding will matter.
Yeah.
I mean,
the seeding
I'm sure Baltimore will want to have their first playoff game in Baltimore. So let's be and who knows if the Chiefs will even hold on to their number 1 seed. Like they still have some tough matchups to end the year. So let's see what happens, man. But we need to get this win. Let's see what happens. Thursday night prime time, 8:15. It'll be on all the local stations. I know it'll be on Prime. It's geared up to be a good one, man. Any final thoughts before we get up out of here?
Whoa, what's the score prediction?
Score predictions. Holy crap! How did I forget score predictions?
Come on, Mr.
Last one was 20. Last one was 27-24. 27-24 for the last one. I'm giving it 24-21.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Wow, that's crazy. Well, I'll pick something else. Just because I think we can win this one. I think it's going to be 24-20. How about that? And the defense.
I was thinking between I was thinking between 24-21 or 20-17, depending. But
I'm going to do 24-20, and I'm going to
fair enough.
Rising to the challenge, getting that last stop on a Bengals drive that needs to go from 20 or that needs a touchdown down 20-24 late in the fourth quarter. So it's going to be a tough one, but honestly, if the Ravens can get their offense going, they could put up 30. again. So we'll see. That's just my conservative prediction. I think we can win this by at least one score. 24-20 is 4 points. So that's what I'll expect. But we'll see how it goes. I mean, M&T Bank, Thursday Night Football, prime time, blackout at the stadiums. You get all the fans are getting getting a light show and a free light wristband. You all know how they do on those primetime games at home. I've been to a couple of them. They're a lot of fun. So I'll be getting there early to participate in the light show and the pregame introductions. So I'll post some videos on the Dom and Gonz channel. I think I did last time. Well, maybe that was my personal channel. I don't remember. But I'll try to do it on the Dom and Gonz Sports Talk channel. So we'll see. But anyway, yeah, I'm good. I'm excited. I'm getting more excited now that we talked about it. But I'm still nervous about tomorrow. I got to get through tomorrow first.
I know it's gonna be a good one. We'll see what happens, man. Let us know what you guys think is gonna happen Thursday night, primetime, Ravens Bengals divisional beat up game. It's gonna be a tough one. We'll be back to you guys on Friday for post game analysis. Letting you guys break down the game, letting you know our thoughts of what happened. Hopefully, we're coming to you on a Victory Friday. We'll be taking that Sunday off, give you guys a little bit of Dom and Gonz catch up. If you want to catch up on some of the stuff we've had in the past couple of weeks since the NFL season started, you can hit us up on YouTube, look at all of our content from there. Like, share, subscribe on this video. We are still on the road to 50 subscribers. Share with all your family, your friends, co-workers, classmates, your mama, your granddaddy, your daddy, granddaddy, all them other people. You know, we're still on the road to that so we can move our streaming to YouTube. So, yeah, we're going to get on out of here, guys. I'm Dom. That's Gonz. Thanks for joining us for another Dom and Gonz pregame show.
I don't want to come back to a loss. I don't want to do a show after.
No. I don't either. Yeah. So hopefully we're here on a Victory Friday. Nonetheless, we'll catch you guys on Friday for post game. I'm Dom. That's Gonz. Enjoy the rest of your night. Have fun at primetime, Gonz.
Thank you. Will do. We'll see you later.